What's up, guys? My name is Elias, and Scream 7 officially drops in theaters this week, which means it's time to watch, review, and rank every single movie in this franchise. And today we're talking about one of the better horror sequels of all time, 1997's Scream 2. It's rare that a follow up, especially to an original movie like Scream, comes out only a year after and it's as good as it is. But Wes Craven. This time around, the incident from the first movie has officially been made into a movie thanks to Courtney Cox's Gail Weathers writing a book telling everything about what happened, and she is more famous than ever. This is arguably my favorite intro to a horror movie as Jada Pinkett and Omar Epps are in the theater watching Stab, which is what the movie is called. That's based on the events of the first movie. And it seems like someone's trying to make a real life sequel to the events of the first film as Jada Pinkett is gutted and Omar Epps is stabbed in the face. And it's just absolute insanity. Again, just like I said for the first Scream, I can't help but think of Keenan Ivory Wayne's Scary Movie from 2000 that spoofs the first one and a little bit of the second one. Uh, Jada Pinkett dying. Obviously, Brenda dies in Scary Movie, and it's so funny because she's like asking people if they want to eat fried chicken, and she's also talking very loudly through the movie. Then she starts to get stabbed by everybody in the audience, and I just can't help but think about that scene instead of enjoying this scene for what it is. But that's just how I was raised, I guess, with the Scary Movie franchise.
This is for talking to the fugitive.
I do really dig the cast this time around. Jerry O'Connell, I think, is a welcome addition to the cast. I mean, he plays Sydney's boyfriend, and he kind of is really good at that is he or isn't he the killer type of character, which makes it all the more a surprise when he ends up not being the killer, and it's actually Timothy Oliphant, who is just essentially auditioning for the Joker at this point. Jamie Kennedy comes back as Randy. You got David Arquette as Dewey again. Again, Courtney Cox obviously returns as well. And Sarah Michelle Gellar, who's kind of like a horror mainstay. Aside from the cast, the story itself is just pretty straightforward, but it's also pretty cool in the sense of it's building off of the lore of the first one where, Billy's mom ends up being the second killer of the ghost faces. And I just thought that was kind of a cool twist, especially because that lady just has like a crazy look in her eye as it is. So it just made sense. I like that Liev Schreiber gets to kind of stretch here as well as Cotton Weary. In the last movie, he was the guy who supposedly killed Sydney's mother, and then it ends up being Billy. So he is free now. He's doing press tours, interviews. He wants to do a special interview with Sydney. Sydney doesn't want it, so he ends up kind of being a little psychotic. And you don't know if maybe he is the killer as well, but he does end up being the hero in the end and getting what he wants as far as like the fame, the fortune, the recognition. After being in prison for a year. So I always like Liev Schreiber and things. He was great as Ray Donovan. I loved him as Sabretooth in X-Men Origins. So I mean, it's just all that to say is just a really good cast all around this time. And of course, there's some surprise kills here, but at the same time, I just think the kills are a little less brutal than the first one. I think it was a little more tame in a sense. Excuse me, sorry. I think it was a little more tame this time around, whereas the first one is just so brutal and just like devastating with how each character kind of bites it. So, other than that, I mean, it really is inferior to the first movie, but not by a lot. I mean, the sequel to, like I said, to be as good as it is crazy to me, especially coming out only a year after the first one, and then we don't get the third one until 3 years down the road. So it was like to have such a quick turnaround and to be as well written, as well casted, for the story to still expand on the lore. I think that at least gives it a place on the B plus tier of my rating scale. That is a 3 out of 5 or a 6 out of 10. It's not a great film by any means, but I do believe that just being as good as it is, as watchable as it is, as still uh, relevant and meta as it is, following in the footsteps of the first one. I think it does a lot of things right, and it's not probably the one that I would gravitate towards as far as watching a Scream movie. I'm definitely gonna just watch the first one instead of the sequel. But again, the sequel is pretty good, and it still had some good twists and turns, some good kills. But that's all I got for you guys. So if you like this video, remember to hit that like button and get in my comments with your thoughts on 1997's Scream 2. Are you excited for Scream 7? Let me know as well. And until next time, guys, take care and God bless.